This one is going to be fun. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing something I've been itching to try for a long time. The ultimate spinner tier list. Every spinner I own is going head to head, ranked not on multi-tools, gimmicks, but purely on their spin. That's the rule of today's game. Before we jump in, I want to share a bit of a backstory. It was actually spinners that started this whole journey for me. When I first stumbled into the world of fidgets, I didn't really know anything about the niche. I just found these fascinating tools, these little devices with bearings, magnets, and clever mechanics, and I was hooked. There's something incredibly rewarding about a well-made spinner. Sure, they were a massive fad at one point, and maybe even a little overhyped. When you hold a quality one, the experience still feels special. That simple, smooth motion, the hum of the spin, that's what pulled me down the rabbit hole. That's what led me to sliders, coins, rings, and everything else that I've come to love. This video is a bit of an ultimate spin-off. Of all the spinners that I own, a return to where it all began. Because who doesn't love a good spinner? And anything that lands in the bottom D tier officially enters the declutter zone. That's the get rid of tier, the rehome, pass it on, or sell it category. So if you're a fidget, this one list you really don't want to fall into. Up first, we have the 3-in-1 spinner. This little guy's always reminded me of the martial artist. Small in stature, adaptable, unassuming, but highly skilled when it counts. The spin is surprisingly good once you learn the trick. It's discreet, smooth, and consistent. However, it might lack a little bit of flair. Spin quality, 4 out of 5. Everyday use, 5 out of 5. Haptic feel, 3 out of 5. Durability and build, 4 out of 5. X factor, 2 out of 5. That's a total of 18 points, and it lands itself in the B tier. The Fidget Revolver, the gunslinger. It's bold, grooved, tactile, and stimulating. Your fingertips can't help but dance over those bullet grips. The spin goes forever, and you can either mindlessly fidget or really focus in on it, tweaking the weights for balance. The only drawback? It's not really an everyday carry. This one has become a companion at my desk. Spin quality, 5 out of 5. Everyday use, 2 out of 5. Haptic feel, 3 out of 5. Durability and build, 4 out of 5. X factor, 4 out of 5. A total of 18 points, landing it strongly in the B tier. If only I found it more pocketable, it might climb higher. The cube from the desert. This cube's always made me smile because it's so different, and also because I associate it with my sister. Go back and watch that personal story about the gift from the desert. As a spinner, it's unconventional. Square shape, unusual grip, no buttons, and it slips a bit on hot, sweaty days. The ring it makes is really nice. The design is clever. It can be a little bit awkward in the pocket, and I found it sits really well on my desk. Spin quality, 4 out of 5. Everyday use, 2 out of 5. Haptic feel, 3 out of 5. Durability and build, 3 out of 5. X factor, 2 out of 5. That gives it a total of 14 points. A clever little oddball, fun, inventive, but not always a daily go-to. C tier. Up next, we have the mini open armor, the Pocket Warrior. Discreet, weighty for its size, and it punches way above its class. Compact enough for everyday carry. This has become one of my personal favorites. Spin quality, 4 out of 5. Everyday use, 5 out of 5. Haptic feel, 4 out of 5. Durability and build, 4 out of 5. X factor, 3 out of 5. Smooth, dependable, and satisfying. The Pocket Warrior punches its way up into the A tier. The Beluga S7 case, the one that pulled me from the depths. This one doubles up as an earphone case, but remember, today's ranking is on spin alone. It's big, slightly clunky, and not something I reach for often. As a spinner, this one helped me through the depths, but the way in which it helps is dependent on its other special feature. So as a spinner, 3 out of 5. Everyday use, 3 out of 5. Haptic feel, 2 out of 5. Durability and build, 4 out of 5. X factor, 4 out of 5, giving it 16 points. It's a cool idea, solid build, but it's more of a gadget than a spinner. This one ends up in the C tier. The Obnoxious open armor, the one I dreamed of owning. If the mini is the Pocket Warrior, this is the show-off. The beast. Heavy, bold, and impressive. It's got that new flashy toy energy. Powerful, with extremely rewarding haptics. Though extended spinning can tire your fingers out. Spin quality, 5 out of 5. Everyday use, 3 out of 5. Haptic feel, 5 out of 5. Durability and build, 5 out of 5. X factor, 5 out of 5. That gives it 23 points. That's an A+, and honestly, with that score, it's borderline S tier. The only thing holding it back is its everyday practicality. If it were a little bit easier to carry and spin for longer sessions, it'd probably just tip over into the S tier territory. It just misses out. The Owl, the fallen hero. This one hurts. The Owl used to be brilliant, clever, discreet, and smooth, but mine's center magnet popped out, and the spin just hasn't been the same since. It's been a little bit dull. The longevity and the design is not holding up, and it's lost its magic. It's always been more of a specialist piece than a true spinner. Spin quality, 2 out of 5. Everyday use, 3 out of 5. Haptic feel, 2 out of 5. Durability and build, 1 out of 5. X factor, 2 out of 5. Once graceful, now grounded. The fallen hero of the list, unfortunately falling into that dreaded D tier list. So here's where everything's landed. In the A tier, we have the mini open armor, and at the very top of the A tier, the full-size open armor, just missing S tier. In the B tier, we have the 3-in-1, and we have the Fidget Revolver. In the C tier, we have the Cube and the Beluga S7. In the D tier, the dreaded declutter zone, we have the fallen Owl. So still no S tier. Which one would you rank differently? Do you think I've been too generous or too harsh? And more importantly, have you found your personal S tier spinner yet? I'm still on the hunt for mine. Comment below with your holy grail recommendation, the one that I should hunt down and review next. If any of these spinners catch your eye, each one has its own dedicated video where I explore it in detail, the story behind it, the build, and how it fits into the broader world of EDC and fidget tools. I'll have a link to each one of these videos in the description, as well as a playlist, so you can go back and watch any of them. And if you'd like to check out or buy any of the spinners featured in this video, I've included all the links to where I got them in the description as well. So I hope that you enjoyed this ultimate spinner tier list video. If you did, let me know. I'd love to make more of these in the future. And thank you for taking the time to watch and be a part of this little journey back to where it all began. I've had such a good time revisiting these spinners and ranking them purely for the joy of the spin. If you enjoyed it, remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and check out the playlist in the description if you want to dive deeper into each one of these pieces. And just before we say goodbye, I've done something a little bit uncharacteristic. I've dropped 4 videos all at once. So if you've just finished this one and want to keep the momentum going, there's plenty more to check out. If this was your entry point, make sure to swing over to the Blood Pagoda, which was inspired by the MOT Groove, and this one explores the darker end of the spectrum. Then there's the Slider Showdown, where the ace of spades shuffle faces off against the Oriental fan, and for the coin fans, don't miss out the Devil's Milk Cap versus the Magnetic Master. See you in one of those videos soon. So until next time, be genuine, stay curious, and as always, stay spectrumy.